Good day, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the philosophy of arts education. We already know, or we are all familiar from the word philosophy, but how about the philosophy of art education? So, when we say philosophy of art education is essential to holistic development, cultivating creativity, critical thinking, cultural awareness, and values needed for personal growth and responsible citizenship. It means that art education it is not about making craft or it is not about just um, drawing. It is essential to the holistic development of every learners, and it also builds the creativity, critical thinking of every learners that helps them to their personal growth. So here are the five main core areas that impacts the learners. The first one is the holistic development. So from the word holistic, ibig sabihin po nito ay kabuoang paglago. So it engage the learner's intellectual, emotional, physical, social, and sensory capacities to strengthen creativity, self-expression, imagination, and higher order thinking skills, and overall self-confidence. So, in holistic development, um, hindi lang po, hindi lang body yung napapagana ng arts, kundi kabuuan, kabilang nandito ang mind, emotionals, and kanilang higher order thinking skills na kung saan lahat buong katawan or buong senses nila yung nade-develop through art education. Number two is the cultural appreciation and understanding. It exposes learners to diverse artistic traditions and historical periods to foster respect for cultural differences, intercultural understanding, and the preservation of cultural heritage. So it means what art education connects us to our history and teach us to respect the culture of every country. So, ang example po nito, yung mga museum po natin which is na-preserve po yung mga nagamit natin no history na kung saan doon po natin makikita yung iba't ibang um, works of arts ng ating mga ninuno. And through arts po, na lalaman natin yung mga culture and traditions of different places po na kung saan natututunan natin silang respetuhin at alamin kung ano nga ba yung mga culture na mayroon sila.
Good day everyone, my name is Waika J.B. Gomez and I will continue this discussion. Now let's proceed on number 3, creative problem solving. Encourages learners to approach challenges through experimentation, innovation, and decision making, allowing them to generate original ideas and solve problems inside and outside the classroom. So meaning, to simply put it po, dito natin maa-apply ang sinasabing thinking outside the box. So meaning, kapag may na-encounter na problem o challenges sa ating pupils, instead na sunod sila sa mga step-by-step process o mga tutorial, ititry natin sila kung paano mag-experiment o mag-try ng mga new ideas at gumawa ng sariling desisyon para makahanap ng solusyon sa kanilang problema. So, sila yung mag-iisip kung paano masusolusyonan yon. Hindi sila aasa sa kanilang mga teacher. So, for example na lang, in a traditional way, di ba, kapag may problema ang ating mga students about sa kanilang color, wala silang color green. In a traditional way, aasa lang sila sa teacher or titigil talaga sila sa paggawa, sa pagko-coloring. Pero sa creative problem solving, dapat dito, iisip sila ng paraan kung paano ba yon. Tulad ng pagmix ng yellow at blue paint para makagawa ng green. So yun, nasolusyonan na yung kanilang problema. Yun yung, doon nila nagamit yung creative problem solving. Hindi sila umasa sila sa kanilang teacher. Next is number 4, expressive and reflective learning. provides a medium for learners to express their ideas, emotions, and personal experiences, which enhances self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and confidence in sharing their unique perspective. So, in simple terms po, ginagamit na dito yung art para mailabas ng mga students, yung ating mga pupils, kung ano talaga yung nararamdaman nila or yung mga naiisip nila. So, kumbaga, yung art is parang naging outlet ko para mailabas yung kanilang mga nararamdaman at yung mga naiisip nila. So, after that, bibigyan natin sila ng time para mag-reflect o pag-isipan kung bakit yun yung nararamdaman nila. So, habang ginagawa nila yung art, doon nila na-express yung sarili nila. Kaya nga ito is expressive and reflective learning. So, yung art yung nagiging outlet nila, yung nagiging tools nila para ma-express yung sarili nila. So, parang ito ay safe space, kumbaga, na tinatawag natin para sa mga pupils natin. Kasi, sila lang nung kanilang, kung ano man yung tools na ginagamit nila para mag-draw o mag-paint, yun yung nagiging safe space nila. Na-express nila yung sarili nila base dun sa kanilang ginagawang art. So, doon nila na-share yung emotions nila at yung mga personal stories na rin nila or yung mga perspective nila sa mga bagay-bagay. So, for example na lang is, para ma-visualize natin, sa halimbawa sa classroom. So, pinadrawing mo ang students mo tungkol sa topic na My Happy Place. Yun yung topic, My Happy Place. So, paano yung dodrawingin ng mga bata? So, dinodrawing ng isang bata yung lumang bahay, kunwari. Lumang bahay na kasama yung buong pamilya niya. At syempre, masaya. So, nilagay ng bata yung mga bright colors para maipakita yung saya niya. So, doon, makikita mo agad dun sa art na ginawa niya na, yun nga, complete family, bright colors, ang ginamit niya. So, ibig sabihin, yung na-express niya yung sarili niya na masaya siya dun sa art na yun. So, pagkatapos mag-drawing ng bata, itatanong mo sa kanya, why did you choose this art or this drawing? Yung, kumbaga, yung bahay nga na yun, na complete family. So, dun, may iisip niya, kasi po, dun ako masaya and relax po at walang ingay. Masaya lang. So, yun po yung expressive and reflective learning. So, naintindihan po ba? The last one is number 5. Critical thinking and static application. Teaches learners to analyze, interpret, and evaluate artworks using design principle and cultural context, developing their aesthetic sensitivity, critical judgment, and appreciation for beauty and meaning. So, dito, ititrain natin ng mga pupils kung paano ba i-analyze ang isang art. So, hindi lang basta sasabihin ng isang student, ng isang bata na, wow, ang ganda naman itong art. Kumbaga, ititrain natin sila kung paano tumingin ng basic design elements like color, balance, at pati na rin yung mga cultural background dito. So, dapat malaman ito ng mga students para malaman nila yung behind that artwork. So, hindi lang ito basta-basta isang magandang artwork, kundi meron din itong meaning behind that. So, through this, makakabuo sila ng magandang pantingin sa isang sining. So, magiging matalas na yung judgment nila about sa artwork at mas malalim na yung pagpapahalaga nila sa isang artwork, sa tunay na kahulugan at ganda ng isang artwork. For example na lang is, magpapakita tayo ng dalawang poster o drawing sa klase. Yung isa is magulo ang kulay at mahirap basahin. Tapos yung isa naman is maayos ang kulay at balas yung mga layout. So, sasabihin ng bata, mas maganda po yung pangalawa. So, syempre, pag pinakita mo, i-compare nila yung dalawa. Mas maganda po yung isa, ma'am. So, pag ginamit nila ito ng critical thinking and aesthetics, so, manajustify nila na kung bakit ba. Sasabihin nila, mas maganda po yung pangalawa kasi maayos yung combination ng color at hindi masakit sa mata. Tapos, malinaw yung text. So, doon nila, di ba, marunong agad mag-compare ang mga bata kung ano ba yung maganda sa hindi. Pero, may reason naman doon. Dahil nga sa mga ginamit na combination ng colors at yung mga contrast up dito. So, yun lang po ang aming topic. That's all po. Thank you.
Okay, to wrap up our discussion for today, art is not just about subject, or it is not just about cultivating the learner's mind. It is about it teach the students to think more deeply and to have a to express their emotions through arts when words alone aren't enough, and find meaning and beauty in every art work they will see and every things that they will do. Thank you.